I tried to warn you guys, but you guys just kept on focusing on things that were actually happening. Because if you didn't know, you gotta know. Shawarma law is here.
They're bringing garlic sauce too.
Garlic sauce do sound pretty good with a bit of shawarma. Shawarma law is here with a side of garlic. And just wait until they bring tahini law. It's gonna be over for all of us. We need to unite Americans together. Because if you're Muslim, how could you be American? That's just not possible. So let's unite for our founding fathers, even though they didn't found this country on what we're supporting right now. But that's besides the point. We pick and choose what we like. So let us all take our fingerlings, collide them with one another, and unite against shawarma law. And then once we get rid of shawarma law, well then, what are we gonna do? We're actually gonna be pretty bored. I don't know what we're gonna do. Howdy there, you armadilliest armadillos. You have crawled onto the channel once again, and you've actually happened to crawl into a pretty political MP4 file. Now, I know my intro kind of spoiled it, but if you didn't know, shawarma law is here. It's officially here. The Muslims have finally done it. And while all of you were focused on your tax dollars going towards ethnic cleansing of other countries, those Islamified individuals have been working together behind the scenes. They have been working so diligently, so well. And that's the thing about Muslims. They work so well together to the point that they have actually convinced Donald Trump to change his name to Dawood ibn Tahini. Don't ask me how. They've actually managed to do it. The Muslims got me. I need to really stop speaking in Trump, but I'm gonna do it regardless. SNL will probably hire me for my really bad impression. The Muslims have got me. You guys know I didn't like the Muslims, but I took one bite of a kebab the other day and I had to take my shahada. Stop calling my wife Malani because she's in a hijab now. Call her Maryam. If you reside in the land of the unfree, and if you reside in any sort of Western civilization, you might have realized this unhealthy rise of Islamophobia around you. And I don't know if my name gave it away, but breaking news. I'm an Islamified individual. Now, despite me being a Muslim, I also happen to spawn in the land of the unfree. And whether the Beckys and Bobs don't like it, I am an American. Whether you like it or not, I can't change the fact, and neither can you. I'm just as American as the frat guy with a hat that says Fee Fi Fo Fum. I don't know, that's the fraternity that he's a part of. And that intentionally purchases 2 sizes smaller Lululemon shorts despite him being a extra large. Yeah, I'm just as American as that guy. I don't have to wear a MAGA hat to prove to you that America isn't great at the moment. Now, I'm sure the average Fox consumer that possibly could be consuming this video resembles a tomato at the moment. I'm going to kindly ask you to unrage your bait and just try and unlock your earlobes and indulge in this video in a politically mature manner. Because I want this video to not only show you that Muslims are not the problem and have never been the problem, but I also want you to get some sort of comedic relief, because I think relief is the thing that you need at this current moment in time. So let's start off with some basics. Influencers are being paid $7K per post to boost pro-Israel social media content. Now, the reason I bring that headline to this line is because you need to be aware of this fact, because our country has been sold out. And this is not recent news, it has been sold out. Because as an American myself, and I'm sure as many Americans want for themselves, they are all saying the same thing, which is they want America to be planted first. And we should not be dealing with the endeavors and committing the crimes of a foreign lobby. And that's why in my videos, whenever I say I'm not left-wing or right-wing, it's because those two political parties don't represent Americans. The politicians that have been planted on the left and on the right are being funded. Their pockets very well stitched because they have so much residing in it. But now that the curtain is slowly being uncurtained, the eye lobes are slowly unlocking, they need to start funding people in order to support their war crimes abroad. Because if they don't figure out how to brainwash the American population, then Americans will wake up and Americans will actually take actions. But unfortunately, a lot of people have been getting washed by this brainwashing. And you don't realize this is truly happening until you see this unhealthy wave of hatred towards Muslims when Muslims are not the issue. So in this video, we have an individual riding into battle. He's going into battle with Muslims because Muslims, we don't know what the Muslims did, but they did something. We don't know what, but they did something. This brother is stuck in BC. There is no battle with the Muslims, bro. You are not a part of the Crusaders. This is not happening. And for the love of God, can somebody give him the time? In that comment section, not a single soul is telling him the location or the time the war is happening. Rumor has it he's still riding into battle till today, even though there's no battle. So he's just riding. Now, you guys know I'm a big advocate advocate of don't judge a book by its cover, unless the cover is just really giving it away. Because this is the dude's TikTok account, and he goes by Kenneth Scott 142, which, if you're wondering, that actually means that he is the 142nd Kenneth Scott to date. And believe it or not, they are actually producing some in some Kenneth Scott factories in the middle of Narnia. So if you were wondering if he's going to be extinct, I'm sorry to say he is not. But he seems like a really friendly guy, and the way you can tell is his hairstyle. This dude really walks into barbershops and says, "Give me the hog rider." I don't know if you can tell by him riding into battle. He really wants to be a part of the Clash of Clans storyline. And what I also love about his profile pic is it's just him smiling, which, by the way, believe it or not, is him practicing Sharia law. Because smiling is something that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said Muslims should do. So he's kind of fighting against himself in a way, because he's practicing Sharia law, but he's also riding into battle against the Muslims that are not in battle. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of like this guy because he's the 142nd Kenneth Scott, so that's immediately a very good sign. And obviously, due to the hog rider hairdo, you have to like him. I mean, we haven't really seen that ever in society. He's the first person to do that. But the thing that made me change my opinion on him was his follower to following count ratio. The guy has 6,228 followers, which is actually pretty good. You'd see that and think, oh, he's pretty popping. But then you see that he's following 9,588 people. 9,588 things that interact with oxygen. And that surprises me because I didn't know he even had the time to swipe and follow 9,588 accounts. I thought he would be too busy trying to find the battle with the Muslims. Now, I don't want to be too harsh on Kenneth here because he's still riding his motorcycle. I have to drive safely. I don't want to distract him. So Kenneth, keep on riding into battle. This is just an eternal loop. You're never going to reach the battle. But Kenneth is just a victim. He doesn't have a very IQ-able IQ to come to the conclusion that he's just being brainwashed by every main media source. Because think of a Kenneth. Where does he get his main media source from? A quick Google search? Or Fox News, both of which are being funded by Zio. Let's put a space in between so YouTube lets me have this MP4 file online. NISTs. And because these money-hungry mammoths have taken over American politics, and they've also taken over American media, they're able to change headlines to what they desire. They're able to change headlines to support the things that will help them in return receive a lot of shillings. And it's people like Kenneth that keep their movement moving forward. Because as long as Americans continue to believe that Muslims and the Middle East and seasoned individuals are the biggest virus, are the biggest issue, then it will justify the atrocities that we commit abroad for those who shall not be named. So you will feel content and you'll be more than willing to not question, but also give more and more of your tax dollars so billions and billions can go to the elimination of innocent individuals. But let's look more into the Islamicization of the United States. Let's look into that. For example, this map shows us what states have banned shawarma law, and thankfully it's been a lot of them. So here you can see the map and a lot of the states that have banned it already. And my question is, why haven't all 50 banned it? Why is shawarma law still very prevalent? Why are they still able to wrap the bread around the chicken shawarma? And the answer to that is, they just haven't realized it because it doesn't exist. Yes, you heard it here first. The United States of America is the first country in the world to ban something that just doesn't exist yet. And if that was too difficult for your cranium to comprehend, that's essentially the equivalent of me banning your father from your household despite him dipping the second you spawned. Now you would think because Kenneth is riding into a battle that does not exist, you would think the people residing in the comment section would be telling him, hey Kenneth, we know you're the 142nd Kenneth Scott, but the 141 Kenneth Scotts before you never seemed to be this lacking in the head top. But no, Kenneth has managed to attract more people that have also refused to receive a lick of education. Chrissy says, some of us tried to tell everyone that this was a planned invasion. We were called conspiracy theorists for years. We told everyone and nobody would listen. I love how Chrissy says we were called conspiracy theorists. You're still called a conspiracy theorist. You're still a conspiracy. Chrissy, for all we know, you're not a real person. I need you to prove that you actually exist. Now, if Muslims were doing things against the law, if Muslims were not following the law, then that's an issue. There's a big issue. But can you bring the instance where Muslims are breaking the law and actually breaking the law? Because if it's the discrimination law that you've created in your heart that was not made by our founding fathers, then where is the issue? If Muslims are following the law of America, what is your issue with Muslims? Is it because the type of sustenance that they create, the type of cuisines that they indulge in is just too flavorful? It's just too tasty? tasty. But look, Chrissy is just not much of an intellect. There were actual intellects in that comment section. For example, Kyle Cat 502 says, deport them all. Yes, deport them all for following the First Amendment. I'm not gonna read it to you. And if you don't know how to read, then I'm sorry. You're stuck in illiteracy. And by the way, if you think Kyle is not illiterate, there's a reason why he posted a picture of this and didn't actually type it out. There's a reason for that. Also, where is this graphic being shared so that we can all share it in comment sections to deport actual Americans? Wait a minute, do you guys have Charlie Kirk fan page group chats that I don't know about? But he's not the only one. James Daniels 525 says, wow, the 525th James Daniels. You're not that special. There's a lot of you already, clearly. I told my old lady today I was going to Dearborn, Michigan for a couple of days with or without her. I feel like I've been awakened. Goodness gracious, you've been awakened? Okay, just pop a couple of melatonins. We need to see you sleep then. I wonder what happens when you're fully awake. This is just you when you're rubbing your eyes in the morning. James, this is why your wife is filing for divorce. This is why she wants to deport herself away from you. Because instead of you being near your Dearborn, you're going to Dearborn. Now, if you didn't know, in Dearborn, Michigan, they are practicing Sharia law. It's actually been fully implemented due to the just obnoxious amounts of people that are of foreign descent. Which, by the way, and I know this is going to hurt a lot of you, so just close your ears and act like it never happened. It actually didn't happen if you close your ears. All Americans are of foreign descent. Let's take a look at an individual that is profiting off of propaganda. Or at least that's what I would hope. Because if you're not making money off of this horrifying content, what are you doing it for? Please don't tell me this is for passion. That video is a little confusing because why are you trying to thirst trap us politically? Why are you making political thirst traps? When did this become a thing? This dude went and lined up his goatee, which is not tea, by the way. But this dude really set up his camera and said, okay, let me act emotional for a quick bag. Let me act like I'm actually devastated about something that's not happening. Now, he obviously expanded on his thoughts. So in the description, he decided to tell us how Christians are in so much danger at the moment. 38 Muslims were elected in America, and they have wished harm on America and Christianity. They have promised to make America a Muslim Islamic country. We are in danger. Only a matter of time. So the proof for that is he just said it. Nobody actually said they're planning on making America an Islamic country. None of these Muslim politicians that were elected said they plan on doing that. But he said that they do. So it's true. It makes sense. You got it covered. You figured it all out. But my favorite part about this video is not the video, which is phenomenal. Imagine watching a video and not being fascinated by the video, but rather the description of the video. Because I want to focus on the hashtags that he put below his explanation as to why Muslims are going to completely Muslimify the US. He puts hashtag Christian TikTok, hashtag Jesus loves you, hashtag FYP, hashtag God is good. But this is the one I want to focus on. Hashtag content creator. And this is why you have to admire this dude. He's looking out for us because he's so kind. He's letting us know that he is a content creator because it would be so hard for us to conceive that idea. It would be so hard for us to look at this video and think, wow, this guy's a content creator. No one has ever thought that. Because those of you that are taking this at face value think that Muslims and Christians need to be going at it. That if we solve that issue, this country will be solved. And I know the bots in the comment section are gonna say, you're singling a religion out. I'm not. Because Jews are not a part of this. There is a big difference between Jews and Zio, let's do the pause again, Nists. But this is how they get you. You're left wing, you're right wing, fight amongst each other. Oh, he's Muslim, he's Christian, fight amongst each other. Commit Clash of Clans upon each other so we can keep on piling our pockets. So we can keep on committing atrocities abroad and brainwashing you into thinking that that's your battle too. But it's not just the For You page, and it's really not just Reels. It's also Reddit. Oh, hell no. The Sharia law takeover has begun. Did conservatives not tell you this would happen? Because we definitely told you so. Islam is not compatible with the West. And if you're so curious as to what he's talking about, this is what he's talking about. Breaking. Zoran Mamdani is expected to require all New York elementary school students to learn Arabic numerals. As a Jewish American, I still support this 100%. By the way, if you didn't know, Arabic numerals are just the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, something that was already being taught in the American school system. Unless it's just gotten a lot worse since I got out of it. And this is why this foreign lobby feels so comfortable taking advantage of us. Do you see why? Because they don't even have to try with the propaganda. They don't even have to try. You guys do it for them. They know you haven't received proper education, and they're gonna do everything in their power, because the dumber you are, the more they can take advantage of you. The more you refuse to unlock your eye lobes, the more they can take advantage of you. But out of all of these videos, this is actually my favorite one. This one had me giggling, because for 52 seconds, and you're not gonna obviously watch the full 52 seconds, I'm going to speed it up. This dude just has some music on in the background and is sending us a very threatening, scary message. Let's indulge in it together. Timbers me shiver, right? Am I right, guys? Goosebumps. Actually, it's more than goosebumps. Geese bumps. Wow, I can't stop gulping. That's how fearful I am. And obviously, the comments come to his rescue. They reassure him in his belief. Aaron Daly says, "We the people have had enough." And if you didn't know if he was serious or not, he put 4 exclamation marks. So you know he's serious. You know it's not easy to do that. It's not easy to continuously press that button. And if you're wondering if Aaron is like this all the time, his name is Aaron Daly. He's like this all day. My fault, that was a really bad joke. This is why we need to get rid of shawarma law. Even their jokes are not funny. Gen X is the last line of defense for this nation. After we are gone, who will fight? This is what I've been saying. Gen X was the last one. They were the last real generation. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, the cocoa melons that are on the rise, they're not gonna do anything for this nation. The thing about Gen X and the boomers is they look at Trump and they say he can do us no wrong. That flimsy fox, he can't do no wrong. He will only tell the truth. And I agree with this notion, by the way. I have been telling Gen X, if there is a way for you guys to do this, go to some extraterrestrial hospital and ask them if there is a way to duplicate your gene pools. See if there's a way to conserve your greatness. Maybe ice yourselves for 300 years or something of that sort. See if there's a way to keep you guys going, because if you guys are gone, what is going to happen to this hemisphere? It's not going to be a sphere anymore. It's going to be a square.
Muslims are not playing no games no more. No games. And if you are not bold with your faith already, you need to start being bold with your faith, because the Muslims, they not scared at all. I don't know if it's just me, but I've been seeing these videos on how they basically been saying how they taken over the UK.
But what I love about this guy is he gives no evidence. He says, I've been seeing videos of them saying that they're taking over the UK. He hasn't actually seen it. He's saying that they say that it's happening, so it must be happening.
They're gonna come take over the US, and they've already started taking over the US. They're going to make sure Islam enters every single household, and they're going to start taking over the policies and politics and implying Sharia law.
The Sharia law. I told you guys about the Sharia law and you guys are not getting it. Guys, you don't understand. When every Muslim is born, they have a chip attached to them that connects them back to Saudi Arabia. If we press a certain button, for me it's on my belly button, I'm just letting you guys know. If I press it, I immediately get deported to Saudi Arabia. I just fly there. I don't even have to book a flight, it just sends me there. And the reason for that is because all Muslims are programmed by Saudi Arabia. They have all been programmed by it, and we've all been sent to America for one mission and one mission only. We will enter every habitat and impose shawarma law on them. They will only eat shawarma so that we can officially achieve Americans struggling with their cholesterol. Well, that's something they're already struggling with, but that's besides the point. I love how he's looking so seriously at the camera, like he's going to say something. Like he's going to say something of wisdom and knowledge. With that being said, as Americans, we have a duty. Do not fall for this evil entity. Do not fall for the propaganda that they are pooping on us. Please try and see through it, because now more than ever, we are united. With that being said, if you did enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe. If your name is Kenneth Scott, please comment. I would love to hear your thoughts, because quite frankly, I highly doubt that you can construct one. Also, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, if you want to see this beautiful facial composition. Once again, let's make this land very much free again. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bob, insert an unhealthy amount of eagle sounds so this video just feels super American. Shawarma law.